In this video, we are going to configure a multi-protocol gateway with loopback proxy. The multi-protocol gateway that we're going to configure is a simple HTTP based multi-protocol gateway, and I'm going to show you how to configure it, make it a loopback proxy, and then test it. You will need this in your development projects because if your backend is not ready and you want to test whatever you have developed on DataPower, then you need to make your multi-protocol gateway loopback and then test it. A word about loopback. The word loopback proxy here means that the multi-protocol gateway will not attempt to connect with backend server. The basic nature, the default nature of the multi-protocol gateway is to connect with backend server. But we need to instruct multi-protocol gateway not to do that. Why? Perhaps because my backend is not ready and I'm only doing development which I need to unit test. So that's the objective of making a multi-protocol gateway loopback proxy. There could be other scenarios as well, but let's get started with something practical in nature. So I'm starting with a multi-protocol gateway creation. Here, I'm on the control panel and I'm clicking the multi-protocol gateway icon. You can see that I have no multi-protocol gateway here. I click on Add button. In my earlier video, I discussed about multi-protocol gateway components. So you might want to refer that. Here, let us create a simple multi-protocol gateway. Let's call it test MPGW 001. Optionally, you can provide a summary. Here, I must provide a processing policy, so I'll do that. But before that, other changes I'm going to do. So I'll say dynamic backend, create a front-side protocol handler, HTTP handler. Local IP address, keep it as is. Port number, I'm choosing 8001. I'm enabling the get method as well. Click on apply button. There is no need to configure anything else in front side protocol handler. Here, under request type, I choose XML. Response type, I choose the same, although response type doesn't matter over here. Why? Because this multi-protocol gateway is not going to connect with any backend. Hence, backend response type is not material over here. Next step is to configure a simple policy. Here, I give a policy name. I click on apply policy. Create a rule. In this rule, at minimum, I'll have to provide its match condition. So whatever default is available, I choose it. And then results action, you will have to drag and drop. To make it loopback proxy, you will have to drag and drop advanced. Double click to open it. Search for set variable. Now click on variable builder, service variable. Search for skip backside. Give it a value 1 and you're done. This is your policy. You can keep the direction for now. You can keep it both directions or client to server. Both are same thing. We can leave it like this and click on close the window. We need to click on the apply button and my multi-protocol gateway is now ready. How do I know it is ready? You click on the view status. It will show you everything up and running. You see up state, it should be up for everything. If it is not up, then your multi-protocol gateway will not work. Any of them not up, multi-protocol gateway will not work. So it is up and running. In summary, the status is also shown over here. So your multi-protocol gateway is now ready. Now we need to go to the second part, which is testing this multi-protocol gateway. So we will test it. To test it, we need a tool. Our testing tool here is Postman. You can use SOAP UI, you can use curl if you don't have access to anything else. Here we are using Postman tool. So let us create an HTTP request here. Make this request a post. Start typing in URL, which is HTTP, then 127.0.0.1, that is localhost. Port number is 8001. If you do not remember the port number, you can always go back and check the port number on front side handler. There is no authorization, etc. We just need to specify the body. So here I am going to specify raw, choose XML, and then I put an XML over here. Any XML would do good. What to expect? Once I hit the send button, this payload will go to MPGW. The front side handler will pass it on to the processing policy. You saw that there is nothing much in the processing policy except the instruction that will instruct Multiprotocol Gateway not to connect to any backend. Hence, Multiprotocol Gateway will work in a loopback fashion. Whatever is present in the processing pipeline, it will return it back to the caller. So what is present in the processing pipeline? Well, whatever payload we send from here is present in the processing pipeline. Hence, in a loopback fashion, the Multiprotocol Gateway is going to echo it back to the caller. So we expect to see same data back from MPGW with HTTP response code 200. Let's see what happens. I'm clicking on the send button now. As you can see, I'm getting a status 200 OK, and the payload is exactly the same. This confirms that my Multiprotocol Gateway is working. It is accessible from outside, and it is working in a loopback fashion. This might look like a trivial example, but it is immensely powerful. To do any serious development, you need to first test your basic setup in the Multiprotocol Gateway is working fine. Also, it is accessible from outside. And this simple test will prove that. So that's the end of it.